In 1804, Haiti became the first free Black republic, a victory won by defeating 3 European empires, a feat that shattered the 19th century global order. Today, that founding brilliance stands in contrast to a reality of repetitive political gridlock and instability. The gap between the triumph of the past and the crises of the present points to a structural breakdown that began centuries ago. The unity that won the revolution lasted only 2 years. Following the assassination of founding father Jean-Jacques Dessalines in 1806, the coalition that built the nation splintered into warring factions. Early leaders invested heavily in physical defense, constructing massive mountain fortresses like the Citadelle La Ferrière to repel foreign invaders. But while these stone walls were formidable, they could not repair the political divide that had already split the country geographically between North and South. This internal fragmentation became the primary vulnerability. A divided command structure made the nation susceptible to failure from within, regardless of physical walls. Over time, power and wealth consolidated into a single hub, Port-au-Prince. By the 20th century, the capital functioned as an isolated center of commerce. This concentration of authority meant the rural majority, the people driving the nation's agricultural production, were systematically marginalized and excluded from the government services. Having a single center of power made the entire country easy to target. In 1825, France exploited this by threatening the capital with a naval blockade, successfully extorting an indemnity of 150 million francs, a debt that would drain Haiti's treasury for over a century. This vulnerability also invited foreign military interference. Occupying forces realized that controlling the capital's banks and ports was sufficient to dominate the entire nation's politics. Focus is often placed on individual leaders, but replacing a politician rarely changes the outcome. The architecture of the capital itself is designed to hoard resources at the center, leaving the rest neglected. The repetitive cycle of instability suggests that the current dysfunction is tied to this centralized design. To build a state that can serve its people and resist interference, that design requires a complete overhaul. The proposed path forward involves a redistribution of sovereignty. It moves away from the single-point model in favor of 10 autonomous administrative departments, or gestions administratives départementales. This shifts the map of power. Instead of one glowing center at Port-au-Prince, authority is distributed into 10 distinct nodes, ensuring that administrative capacity exists in every corner of the country. To make this autonomy real, the national budget would be allocated proportionally. Every region receives funding based on the population of each department, ensuring that wealth is no longer trapped in the capital. Each department would maintain its own local legislature, police force, and emergency infrastructure. Responses to local needs, from security to disaster relief, are managed on the ground by those directly affected. A distributed government removes the ability for a small group in the capital to monopolize national resources. It replaces the traditional grand monsieur model with regional accountability. Decentralization moves the government closer to the citizens it serves. This structural shift is designed to dismantle the exclusionary system that has hampered the nation's growth for over 200 years. This regional autonomy provides the foundation to rebuild essential services, starting with education. When managed and funded locally, schooling becomes a more effective tool for training and innovation in rural communities. It also allows for a localized justice system. Establishing independent courts at the department level is a necessary step to end impunity and provide legal protection for every citizen. Success depends on a partnership between those on the ground and the global diaspora. This community carries the skills and expertise needed to execute such a massive transition across every sector. Integration means bringing members of the diaspora into the government as equal political partners and policymakers, rather than viewing them only as a source of economic help. Building a functional state requires this unity in diversity, a bridge between domestic residents and the international community to collectively redesign the nation's future. A decentralized state is far more difficult to capture. With authority split across 10 regions, a foreign power or a corrupt actor can no longer seize control of the entire country by taking over a single capital. This systemic shift aligns with the original vision of Haiti's founders. By creating a state that serves its people, the country moves closer to fulfilling the promise made at the moment of independence. To the noble jeunesse, the youth of Haiti. Building a sovereign nation is a structural effort. By insisting on this decentralized blueprint, you take the final steps toward a system that truly belongs to you.